What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nick Krem Live. And as you guys know, Nick Krem Live is powered by contentcards.com. That's contentcards with a Z.com. And today with us, we have a great guest, Tracy Cousineau. How's it going, Tracy?
Good. Thanks, Nick, for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming on. So just a little bit about Tracy here, and I'll tell you what, there's a lot of information to pull from here. So I just pulled out some little bits and pieces. So Tracy has been a leader in the metro Atlanta and northern Georgia community in real estate since 1999. In 2015, Tracy co-authored a best-selling book with world-renowned author Brian Tracy titled Uncommon. In 2017, her team sold over 550 homes for 136 million in volume, 4.6 million in GCI. And then their team was 345th fastest growing privately owned company and Inc. 5000. But Tracy, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you guys got going on now?
Oh my gosh. So, our wheels are always turning, always trying to stay ahead of the game and, just deliver value, with the community, with our team, just agents across the country, and delivering the best value and the best content that we can so that, the economy just keeps moving and everybody can create the lifestyles that they dream of.
Yeah, no, and I was going to say delivering value and a lot of content is something that you guys have mastered over the years. I'll tell you what, that's a big reason that you're on here today. Well, just one of the reasons. And we want to talk about kind of building that personal brand. So I know a question that usually comes up for me when we talk about building a brand is how do you, especially with how much that you're doing, balance building your brand and marketing and listing homes? How do you kind of get that balance?
Calendar first. And in that, first it was learning to delegate because I was working literally 24/7. And I had to write in my mindset first is if I, what is that list of stuff that stops me from being able to deliver more or reach more goals. And so by really getting real with myself first and really knocking out, do I really need to be in that box, or is there somebody else that could be better at this in that box? Yeah. And saving the right things that is the right thing that I can add the most value in my box. So I think that started the process. And then just keeping everything calendared. And if it's not going to happen, because I don't want my mind going into ways because that's what's going to leave me back in the office until those hours. And, since, let's say for the last 3 years, I wanted to have somebody that was able to drive me so that I could continue to work and get more done throughout the day. And what pushed me finally to get to that was hands-free, was signed in Georgia, thank goodness. I'm saying thank goodness for that reason, that it really pushed me. That next thing is saying the first day that I had to sit in traffic on that hands-free and I could not touch my phone and know who emailed me, who called me, who texted me because my car, my Infiniti didn't have CarPlay. And I'm like, this is just not right. How am I going to do that? But for the safety of all, I should never have been on my phone in that traffic anyway. So we incorporated that and now I'm able to work as having a driver and able to get through Metro Atlanta and all the traffic and get a lot more created and done. So I'm not stressed, and that was the thing. It's just finding ways that works for you to relieve that stress.
Yeah, that's
your mind works better and creates better content. Yeah, without the stress.
Yeah, no, that's a great point because getting the creative juices flowing. And even on top of that, the delegation. There's some things when I'm sitting on a computer, my brother does a great job at this. He uses every shortcut in the book and he can make it look so easy. And the amount of time and stress and things that would go into me for doing the same amount of work, it's just astronomically different. So that delegation when it comes to either listing homes, doing the back end marketing and everything in between is very key. I don't have to be the greatest at everything. I need to have someone on my team that's the greatest at something. So I think that's definitely a great point.
Absolutely.
So So to me, a big
Absolutely.
reason, especially talking to realtors, why they don't start growing their personal brand is because the results aren't instant. You're not listing homes tomorrow just because you started your marketing efforts today. So what are some ways that you kind of weathered the storm between starting your marketing and branding yourself and to getting all those listings rolling in?
So let's go back 20 years. And 20 years ago, marketing is not the same way. So, you know, I had to learn the hard way marketing. And so that makes it, I'm going to say, easier. So if you're like me and you've been in the business, then I went from having to take photos with a Polaroid camera and do the Polaroid shake outside and make brochures off a white piece of paper. You know, we were really cool if we went and found colored paper. And you didn't, you know, you had to wait and develop film or Polaroid it, and you had to create brochures that just looked like crap. And when you got a price change, you just took a Sharpie and changed the price, you know?
Yeah.
And so we didn't have online, you know, we did not have online access for marketing. I mean, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. So the tools and tips that are in today, I mean, it's like every day when I wake up to the internet, I feel like, oh my God, I got to buy that, or I got to buy that because it's so freaking cool. Like, oh, that's so cool. Where before you just have to think of, you know, or you just followed the trend of just putting these crazy brochures outside. So once the internet hit, you know, it really unfolded a lot. I was selling homes through MySpace. I think MySpace was the first platform. So I used it to the ability of, I didn't need a date, and I really, you know, I was able to choose my top friends, but I was really marketing. Yeah. And my page that I created with all my content on it was really about selling homes, you know?
Right.
And so I was able to start getting that message out and learn the internet from that platform. Before that, it was networking. And so, which is free, you know? And so what I did was I joined a park and rec, and being on the executive board at a park and rec that my daughter plays softball at.
Yeah.
And so I was on the executive board for maybe 4 or 5 years. And so, because we had moved to this area when she was young, and so I didn't have a lot of business in that area. I'd come from property management. Then we moved out, you know, 20 miles north, and I didn't know really a soul. You know, the connections had to come from me getting out and networking. And so one of it was, I'm going to join the park and rec that my daughter goes to. There's these amount of people that are at that park and rec. And if I can make a relationship with all of them and the people that they know, it's just going to grow from there. I door knocked, introduced myself, you know, and so, you know, something wise that my dad told me when I first got in the business was listings were king. Yeah. And I didn't know it until I realized that he was right. You know, you don't want to listen. Oh, I'm not listening to what he says. I'm just going to go find everything, you know? And I was like, he was so right. And, you know, we didn't have, you know, third-party websites that our listings went to. We had the newspaper. So you had to find the right things that were really going to challenge you. And so coming from a mindset of always being challenged on how I was going to get these homes across to buyers, I started that way. You know, and so I think the mindset had always been there. And then when the internet made it easier, it was always, okay, well, how can I always get ahead of what the next thing was? And so, you know, just always looking at opportunity, really. And the opportunity, like even back then, was, okay, if I could go into this park and rec and they've got thousands of people playing football and baseball and soccer, you know, whatever, all these different sports as kids, they all have parents, you know, and I just need to meet these parents to meet people in the community, you know, and then you have it at church. So it was really just getting out and being a part of the community. But you're right. It doesn't happen overnight. You know, you have, you know, we were sponsoring schools and putting a banner on their fields and, you know, just really getting the name out there as much as you could, you know, paying that $100 or $150 to sponsor playing baseball and football and track and all of that and getting into their little programs. And the more that your name is out there, the more people are going to continue to see it.
Yeah, no, and like you were saying, just getting involved as much as you can in the community. That's why we did talk about the community champ. It's getting involved with a lot of different things. Like you're saying, the church, the community centers, all these different places, local businesses. there's a lot of different ways you can give back. And that's where I think it's tough at first, like you were saying, like paying $100, $150 to sponsor teams to get your name on different places. Not seeing those results instantly is what, to me, holds a lot of people back, because you don't see it instantly. Someone just see your sign and they give you a call and it's over like that. It's about seeing your name over and over and over again. So, I mean, at this point, I mean, you've been backed by some of the biggest names, Barbara, Cochran, just to name one. So, like, what kind of impact has that made on your business? And has there been any impact that was made that you just didn't see coming?
So, you know, for us, and, you know, we've got a lot of radio talent, a lot of, you know, TV talent now. And, you know, when we started with the talent, we started radio. And there's been some radio that talent didn't work. And you have to look at the alignment with your talent.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't about being on radio or being on TV. You actually had to build a relationship with that talent for people to actually know that it's true.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to be you, and you have to be in and know that not everybody is a fit. So you have to find the right fit. So you know, and so for me with Barbara and I's story is really similar. You know, and so, you know, that was an alignment, you know, and so it's funny because I'm like, I get comments all the time. Are y'all family? Do you know, you look like you could be related, that kind of stuff. That might help too.
Yeah.
But again, it probably just the story and being a female is the best alignment with Barbara, and being able to share that alignment with Barbara. So people see it, people hear us more on radio than I would say that they see the commercials and affiliation with Barbara. But it does help. And of course we love her and we think she's cool. So that is awesome. But we, you know, I have really great, relationship with our radio talent, and you know, when we speak on radio together, it's heartfelt, you know, it's real content, and we really have that relationship, and your tonality and is something that people can hear through the radio just as much as seeing your face. And so you always want alignment with who you're in business with, because people can see that as much as you don't think they can through your body language and your tonality and that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's who we do business with, we consider them family, and we want to have that relationship with them. And that's huge.
Mm-hmm. Man, so yeah, you brought up a couple good points. The one I want to kind of hit on was just the authenticity of everything. Whether you're on radio, whether any ads that you're putting up, knowing who you're getting into business with, knowing their story, and just being authentic yourself will win people over, and we'll just get everybody kind of on the same page there. So this was a question.
Yes.
I know when I was talking to you and Jason in Key West, you guys were throwing out all these great ideas of different things you guys have done in the past. So what was some of like the craziest kind of like off the wall thinking of marketing or branding that you guys have came up with over the years?
Sorry, I'm texting someone to bring me my computer cord. I'm watching my percentage go from like, it was high to like nothing, and I don't want to drop this. So I'm like, can you bring me my laptop cord?
No
so
problem. Sorry
for 1 second. To be rude, I just don't want this to go away.
Yeah.
So, you know, we started doing, I guess 6 years ago at this point, video, and we started videoing our listings and capturing the audience by walking through the listing. Now, you know, a lot of people do it now, but nobody was doing it in our area. And you know, we started capturing these great videos, and of course there's always bloopers on the end, and you want to show your real true character because people build rapport with who you really are. Right. And so it was at first, do we want to show them the stairs, or you know, we were having a water fight or something like that? But thank you so much. I was like, I'm about to die. Hang on, plug this in.
Yeah, go ahead. It almost looks like it's cutting out because of the battery.
Hang on, I'm trying.
You can make it, Tracy.
Okay, back in business. Sorry.
Woo!
Yes. Woohoo! I started watching it go from like 30, then it went, all of a sudden went to 17. I'm like, whoa, then 13. Now we were at like 9. I'm like, Okay, so we're back in action. So yeah, we hustle. It doesn't even matter if it's a laptop. So, those videos were fun. And then really starting to brand, I had tried and I had hired so many people to come up with a jingle that would really stick. My last name isn't something easy to remember. And so it's like, how do you get people to go to your website if they can't remember how to spell your name? Just like your name isn't really easy, right? So if I had to find you by your last name, I'm just like, okay, so this has to be, we're spending all this money on radio and all this kind of stuff, but how are they finding us? If we're not delivering the right message. So actually our daughter, when she was 4, came up with our jingle, but we had spent so much money before that trying to figure out how to come up with this jingle or the right phone number or like pound something to find us. So luckily there's telemarketers in our lives, and one of them happened to call me, and she was in the back seat, 4 years old, and I'm spelling my last name, and never had I ever spelt it out this way. And something at that moment, after spelling it so many times for this guy, I'm like, it's cousin with an EAU. And then she pipes in the back and she says, did you know my mom is going to sell your house? And I'm like, brakes on. And so we started creating video with her, actually. Isn't that awesome? So now like everything we do says called Tracy Cousineau, and that's cousin with an EAU, because she's going to sell your house. And so this is something that all of our ads say. So that's how we really started capturing it. And right now, if you're watching this, think of all of the vendors that you hear their ads in your, like Baloney, BLOGNA or Toys R Us. Or around here, there's a pest control company called Cookie or something. And so right now I'm playing their jingle. And so that's what we had to create, something to people to remember us. Our results were there, but then how are they going to find us? And so it was creating something that people were going to remember how to find you after they know who you are. Mm-hmm. And that was huge. And once we got to that, I think that, you could really, when they go to Zillow or they go to Google, I'm figuring out how to find me.
Yeah. And something you were saying with the videos too, about like including the bloopers, maybe falling down the stairs or up the stairs, hopefully up the stairs, not down the stairs. Yeah. But some of the bloopers, or just some of the outtakes, as far as like stuttering through the videos. Not everybody's perfect. And a lot of times it humanizes you too. If a video is absolutely perfect, I might be thinking like, man, I can't trust this person. But adding the bloopers, giving someone to laugh about. People go on social media and these platforms to enjoy. They're bored and lazy. They go on here. You want to entertain them. So I think that's a great point of just including some of the bloopers. Not everybody's perfect. And it shows in your videos too that, you just, a lot of times, I think I was watching someone the other day, they say they do every video in one take. Whether they stutter, no matter what happens in the video, whether the dog's barking in the background, one take, send it out. It's human. It's normal. It's stuff that we all go through.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
We went out on the lake yesterday, and one of my daughter's friends went with us, and she's like, if somebody just followed your family around all day long, this is to be in the same area, just watching y'all. This is hilarious. Like, this is like comical. Somebody really should record your lives together. So it is. That's where we're at today. I mean, that's it's just moving with the times. And reality TV, that at first was like, ew, reality TV. If you go back, when reality TV came out, even like The Bachelorette, it's like, what is this? This is so much drama, But that's just what it is. I mean, people want to see you for who you are and build rapport. And that's just one of the reasons why all of our signs have our photo, have my photo on it, is because you can't build rapport with just a name. You have to put something in connection with it. Yeah,
no, and that's huge. And so there was something that I was talking to somebody else earlier. They were dying to know this answer. So what kind of catapulted you from 100 transactions to 500? Like, what was going through that process? Was it more agents? Was it your processes? Was it a connection of everything? Like, what took you to that next step?
It's a combination of a few things. And one was we had to get real on hiring. And we had to realize that, it's okay to be friends with some people, but maybe sometimes it's not fun to work with them.
Yeah.
And you just have to be upfront, but for Jason and I, we were at the beginning, we were doing everything together, and it was that aha moment that we could conquer and divide, or divide and conquer. And so it was like, you're good at this, I'm good at this, we're good at this together. So we'll do this together. You'll do that and I'll do this. And then really going through that box and saying, you know what, we do need to hire for this. We need to hire for this. We need to hire for this. And it was putting the right people on the bus, but we had to be better leaders ourselves. We had to be better. We had to have a different mindset. We had to be better people. And so we had to fix ourselves, just like in the airport or on that plane. Who do you give the oxygen to first?
Yeah.
Yourself before you can help anybody else, right?
Right.
And so we had to, we did a lot of personal coaching, a lot of Tony Robbins, a lot of really just getting clarity and really having a focus and a structure. And, so from that to, hiring the right people, and then really stepping back and realizing what marketing works, what marketing doesn't work, and the right sources of marketing, and just really dialing into every process and having the right focus on it. Really, I mean, it wasn't just one thing. It was just a combination of everything that we just decided this is what needs to happen. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we implement, and we're huge implementers. And so if we're going to put the effort to go and learn it, we better put the effort in to actually do it, right? So it doesn't help to go to a conference and write all this stuff down and take the time away from work and sit there for 2 or 3 hours and not go home and do it, yeah. Right? I mean, you have to do it. And no, we're guilty because we go to a lot of stuff, but then it's just going back and going through that content and saying, hey, you know what, that was a good idea. We need to implement this, or that's a great idea at this, but how can we even make it bigger? How do we make it better? And so, we do a lot of stuff outside the industry as well, so that we can wrap our mind around different types of marketing as well. But, we love marketing, we love content, and that's just where we're at right now. And so it's just getting clear, once you're clear, I think everything else falls behind that. And I came out of the recession a different person than I went in the recession. Mm-hmm. And so that's huge. Of really, it was very humbling experience. And it really helped me understand that this wasn't about a paycheck, and selling homes was not about a paycheck, and leave your ego at the door, and leave your awards in the closet. And be you, and just I look at every transaction as not just for who I'm working with at that time, so if I'm in a listing, it's not really, yes, I'm getting to the goal of the seller. That's why I'm there, and I'm going to make it happen. And there's a buyer for every house. And so I may not be the buyer's agent, but I got to go find that buyer. That's what the seller has hired me to do. Right. And so it's not putting it in the MLS, and it's not praying to the MLS gods and agents, somebody's going to come and get it, 'cause that time has changed. Yeah. I got to go out and figure out how to target market who that is for that. But if I fail to do that, I didn't fail just my seller and my client. I failed everybody in our company, because that's how they get paid. Yeah. The inspectors, the handyman, the attorneys, the appraisers, the loan officers. So many people get fed from one transaction. And so when you really get clarity on why you do what you do, yeah, I think you just want to help more people. And so that dominated the numbers right there. Is I got to find a way to get to these people, because if I don't get to them and they had a bad experience, or their house didn't sell, or they didn't find the house they were looking for, then we failed them. And so for me, it was just, I got to get out there and find these people. How am I going to get to them?
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the key things I want to touch on was, like you were saying, like the delegation. How you guys decided not to both work on the same task, to divide what you guys were great at. Like we were talking about earlier, I might not be the best at something, but I'll find someone who is the best at it, put them in that seat. And the biggest thing for me was letting go of the vine, not holding on to it still, trying to dive into that project and just saying, yep, you got this, go do it. And just letting go of the vine and just saying, you got this and I'm done with it. Wiping your hands clean of the situation.
Yep.
So I think that's a big thing of just
Yep.
filling up your time. And like you're saying, with the calendar, time is everything. What are you doing with your day? Are you doing what you're best at throughout your day? And just kind of attacking those things and putting other people in the different seats.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, every day you want to be the best you. And so what is the best you every day? And, you know, I find myself every once in a while going, I want to learn to do this. And I'm like, no, there's better people that already know how to do it. You don't need to learn how to do that, you know? So it's just, you know, you got to sometimes flick those ideas out and you still get to the goal. But, you know, I don't need to learn. I don't need to build the clock. I just need to know the time.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to use that one, Tracy. So I think everybody here, I know I'm wondering, what are you working on next? What's going on for you guys? And where should we go to learn some more information about all this content and stuff that you guys are putting out there?
So we are, right now we're working on finalizing our ISA book and ISA coaching. Since, you know, our numbers show that, you know, that we're at the ISA development and getting that process done. So we're starting there. So we'll have some ISA coaching and stuff that we're going to be doing. And then just moving from that, you know, just helping agents across the country get to where they want to be and help them, you know, with their goals and help them with their marketing and looking at it and just giving them, you know, I can look at stuff and go, okay, well, if they had said this a different way or maybe moved this a different way, like that's just how my brain works. You know, like I can look at something and go, that would have made a better impact had they said this or done this. And so I see stuff all the time, you know, that agents put out there and I'm like, gosh, if they had just used this color or something like that, you know, we can see that. So if we can help them with that, you know, that at the end of the day, you know, makes me feel great. A really good friend of mine once told me that he didn't want someone at his funeral saying, gosh, he sold a bunch of homes, you know, and I feel the same. You know, I don't want somebody at my funeral looking, you know, there going, gosh, she saw a lot of homes. I want somebody to say, you know what, she helped me. Yeah. And, you know, that's just, so anything that we can create that's going to help agents. So right now we're putting together Mega Agent Success Secrets and Warrior Coaching, so that we can put that content out there and really help other people across the country. So you can find us at Facebook right now at Mega Agent Success, or I've got a public figure page as well as my personal page. You can follow my personal page or like my public figure page at Tracy Cousineau.
So so that's Mega Agent Success Secrets. We're going to be dropping the links in the comments below for you guys to go add those pages. And again, guys, there's going to be a lot of great content. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of value there to be getting. So make sure you go to Mega Agent Success Secrets. And I just want to add one thing. Today is my mother's birthday, so I want to say happy birthday, Mom. I know I'll be seeing you later, but I figured I'd give you a good shout out. She is 29 years young today. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No. So yeah, guys, we're gonna be dropping the links in the comments below. Go ahead.
I am trying to find me on Instagram also. So I've been really working on Instagram. So I need all of you to help me on my Instagram page too. It's Tracy.Cousineau. Thank you.
We're gonna be dropping all the links in the comments below. Make sure you guys go and follow those ones. Again, guys, this is powered by ContentCards.com. That's ContentCards with a Z.com. And thanks for coming on, Tracy.
Thank you, Nick.